On the west coast of Vancouver Island sits the town of Tofino, and near that town there are a lot of bears and a lot of whales. There's a company called West Coast Aquatic Safaris which offers daily chances to see these magnificent creatures, so while we were in the area we figured we'd spend a little bit of money. We headed out in the morning of September 15th, 2025 on a bear watching trip, and after a little bit of exploring we found our first one. This one I think is a male based on the fact that the next one we're going to see is a female, and what it's doing here is a fairly common occurrence for bears in the area. It's hunting. It's currently low tide, and underneath all these rocks are a bunch of small animals such as clams. The bear is turning over the rocks with his enormous claws to try and get at the protein underneath. This is why about noon hour is the best time to see bears in Tofino in September, because that's when they're all down here on the shores trying to hunt for food. Now, of course, as with any wildlife expedition, success can of course vary, but generally it's pretty good here because they're really everywhere at this time of day. After watching our bear hunting along the shoreline for a while, in silence of course, don't want to disturb them, the bear decided to move on, and so did we. We moved on, carefully scanning the shoreline for more bears, and eventually we found the catch of the day, a mother with 2 cubs. These cubs are still young enough to where they still have to rely on their mother for protection, so the mother is now teaching them how to hunt in the same way that we saw the male doing earlier. Here on Vancouver Island, the only species of bear that can really be seen is the black bear. There's not really any grizzly bears, at least not until recently. Apparently there's been some sightings of those, but I don't know the legitimacy of that. There are an estimated 7,000 black bears present on the island, which makes this one of the densest populations of black bears anywhere in the world. A couple days later, my cousins William and Sydney, as well as my Aunt Jane, flew out from back home in Ontario to meet us, and we embarked on another journey with West Coast Aquatic Safaris, this time though on a whale watching trip. It had been raining quite a lot that morning, and now the rain was gone and an immense fog was left hanging over the mountains. While a bit chilly, it did add to the atmosphere and it was quite beautiful. It took us a while to find our first whale, but eventually we did so. Although we didn't get the greatest footage of that whale, we are going to be seeing another one here shortly, so we did get a lot better footage of that one, so stay tuned. But first we're going to swing by this old structure. I don't remember what it was for, but on that structure was a bunch of sea lions. We'd already seen quite a few of these creatures, but this was the most we'd seen at the time. They're very, very loud and really, really cool, honestly. Sea lions are pinnipeds. They can be characterized by their external ear flaps, which seals, by the way, don't have. That's one way you can tell the difference between a seal and a sea lion. A sea lion has ears on the outside of its head, whereas a seal has them on the inside. Our next wildlife sighting was a raft of sea otters, a really, really big raft. There was probably hundreds here, and they're all so adorable, look at them. Weighing between 14 and 45 kilograms, the sea otter is one of the heaviest members of the weasel family, but it's among the smallest of the marine mammals despite this. They are an integral part to the kelp forests they live in because they feed on the sea urchins that endanger the plants. Now, we did spot a couple more whales on our journey that day, but by far the best encounter with a whale that we had was this one. This gray whale is feeding on what are likely very microscopic organisms because it is a baleen whale, and baleen whales tend to eat a lot smaller creatures. Overall, both experiences were really incredible and I enjoyed both immensely. Although, based on personal experience, I would have to recommend the bear watching more so than the whale watching, and that's partly because, spoiler alert, I do have another whale watching video in the works shortly, so stay tuned for that. Now, the day before we went whale watching and after we'd gone bear watching, we went to the beach nearby. It's a really nice beach actually. We picked a pretty good spot. It was really peaceful, fun. It was a great time. We'd also rented out this cool little wheelchair because mine doesn't really like sand all that much. So this one does it a lot better. They're also free, which is quite cool as well. Whilst we were in the area, we also decided to do the Wild Pacific Trail, a beautiful hiking trail that takes you through the forests and offers picturesque views of the Pacific Ocean. I would say this trail is definitely worth it because the views you get of the Pacific are really quite beautiful and the experience itself is just a lot of fun. But do be warned that although it is marketed as a wheelchair accessible trail, that is kind of pushing it. It's in the middle of the forest, so it can get kind of rough out there. Overall, I gotta say I really did enjoy Tofino. It's a really beautiful part of the Vancouver Island. There's a lot to do and see, including the stuff I've shown you today. And it's just great. If you're in the area, would definitely recommend you go here. Now that'll be the end of this video, but do stay tuned as I mentioned before, I do have another whale watching video in the works, so be sure to click the bell to be notified when that comes out. Probably won't be for a while because I'm lazy, but we'll have to see. But see you in the next one.